Hi, everyone. Welcome to Agile in a Nutshell workshop. My name is Nicola, and I'm honored to present my company, Adacta FinTech, on this event. And today I will uh, learn you and explain you more about Agile and its usage and how that approach can change whole way how projects are managed. Okay, let's then start. Firstly, let me change the slide. To introduce myself, I'm Nicola Mirilo. Currently, I'm working as a junior IT project manager, junior project manager and Scrum Master. I'm more like Scrum Master and assistant PM at Adacta. And this is my second year of working here. I'm passionate full stack web developer. I'm working in Next.js. Um, Regarding my education, so I finished the Faculty of Organizational Sciences on the Department of Operational Management. I finished that last year, and I didn't extended my education to the master studies because I already learned a lot about project management, and that was like decision I made. Currently I'm in supervisory board at FONIS in Students ICT organization, and I'm a member of Project Management Institute and holder of Certified Associate in Project Management certificate. I issued that certificate last year, and also I issued certificate of Lean Six Sigma. And I really think also regarding this workshop, Lean is very, very important for Agile. And they are very connected. And Lean is one of the reasons why Agile was established and created. So I think the connection of those two is really, really important to learn more about Agile. So Adacta was established in 1989 in Ljubljana, Slovenia, and the goal of company is to create outstanding insurance platform for managing all the activities related to insurance businesses and also to broker businesses in insurance industry. Currently, we have this is our in-house product. It's called AdInsure, and currently it's on version 3x. In 2019, the first implementation started, and a company is working 400 employees. We have offices all over the Europe, and the headquarters are in Amsterdam. Regarding clients, so we are working on more than 10 projects, which means more than 10 clients, and the ones mentioned below are the most important and known by Adacta. So that's all regarding me and Adacta company. And before we start, I would like to know more about you. So I prepared this poll. So can you scan this QR, and this we will use to for me to get to know more about you. How many students are here, how many employees, unemployed people, and high schoolers. So let's wait for a minute to see how many people are here, just to know um, in which direction we should go regarding this workshop. Okay, let's wait for 30 more seconds. Please scan this code. It's really valuable information to know your current status in career and education. Okay, I think you can, let me just see. I think I need to click here. This, okay, for now, 3 students and 2 employed. Um, Attendees, okay. Then regarding the second question, how old are you? I mean, this is more or less intuitive from here. So everyone between 16 and 24, I guess. Okay. That was wrong guess. uh, okay, let's wait for this question. Okay, then third question. So what is your area of interest? Is it, you can just write, it's pre response type. So is it IT, finance, something different, maybe insurance, or I don't know. Okay, and okay, programming. Okay, and the last question for this part is, did you learn about project management before? I mean, anything regarding project management. Is it Agile, Scrum, or anything? Okay. Um, and okay, this is not for now. We can stop this. Uh, this is for the end, but you can ask question throughout the presentation here as well, if you want. So be free, just not to forget. Okay, then let's go back to presentation. Okay. So just a second. Just a second to check this. Okay. Something didn't save on the presentation. Okay, never mind. So to better understand Agile, we firstly need to better understand what is the project, and I mean in general, risk and those basic terms. So according to definition, a project is temporary endeavor with defined beginning and end, undertaken to create unique product, service, or result. And this is really important in today's world. Projects are driving innovations, and they are really, really important for everything. So everything was transferred to the projects. So a lot of companies are working according to the projects, same as Adacta did. So projects are the prerequisite for innovation, and every project can bring something new to the world. As you heard, for example, one of the project is ChatGPT, which brought a whole new aspect of artificial intelligence, and this is really a big step in technology. On the right side, you can see the iron triangle of project management. So we have four most important variables, and if you prepare for some of the exams of Project Management Institute, you will learn about them. So costs, time, scope, and quality. So what is the point? The point of project is to be finished according to budget, on the right schedule, which is time, and in the right scope to deliver what client requested, and everything that is connected to the quality, because quality, some level of quality is expected on the side of the client, and that is the point of every project. So, and project can be, there are different types of projects, and we'll talk about it later. But that is the goal of every project management strategy. Okay, let's talk now about the risk. Risk is potential occurrence of an event or circumstance that could have negative impact on the project's objectives, such as its scope, schedule, budget, or quality. And this is really important to highlight, that it's a risk doesn't have always to be negative. Risk can be also positive. For example, you can you will have risk of using new technology, but that technology, you have the risk that it will lead to greater efficiency and reduce labor and reduce wages or costs to the organization. And for example, you can use AI. So some companies are afraid to take that risk to use AI. Some companies take that risk, and that risk can be either positive or negative, or it can be both as well, because there are pros and cons of using this technology. And there are also multiple strategies how to deal with risk, which is also connected to Agile. So in Agile, we always try to adapt and to exploit and to check what the risk brings, and then to try to handle it and not to avoid it. It's really important to do something about it. Okay. Okay. Let's talk now more about project life cycles. Regarding project life cycles, the basic division is on the planning. So we have multiple phases. The first phase is planning phase. Also, there is, sorry, mistake. The first phase is initiation phase. That is the phase where the project is agreed and the contract is created, and the project sponsor is responsible for that. Then after that, and also project manager in some companies, it depends. And then project manager then is responsible for planning, execution, and project closure. And those are four basic phases. Also, they are divided into smaller steps. And in Agile projects, those phases are, except initiation, second and third, this planning and execution phase, are constantly in progress. I mean, we're constantly planning something and then executing something, and repeating that until we finish with the project and do what the client requested. Okay, so that's short intro to the cycles of the project. Now let's talk more about strategies of managing projects. So we have four basic strategies. First strategy is called predictive life cycle. So we try to predict the scope and everything, and the costs and time and how many people we need and everything. And predictive is also called the waterfall approach. That is a traditional approach with bulk planning, curing upfront, then executing in a single pass, and sequential process. and this is like old-fashioned way to manage projects. It is still used in a lot of projects, and the reason is not for all projects Agile is good. So for projects where the scope is fixed, for example, you need to build some building, and everything is and everything we know in details what needs to be done. There are no any surprises and adjustments which needs to be later implemented. Then we will use predictive lifecycle because we want to know what would be the cost of those kind of projects, and those projects are agreed on the in most cases on fixed price basis. So the price is defined at the beginning and it is fixed. Okay, there are also some clauses about economic adjustments of inflation and so on, but mostly it's fixed price. Then we have iterative life cycle. That is approach that allows feedback for unfinished work to improve and modify that work. So iterative is we are doing through iterations, which means phases. So we implement one part which is working, then we receive feedback, then we develop another part which is working, and then deliver, and then we also get the feedback, and that is the iterative life cycle. For incremental, it is similar, but it is approach that provides finished deliverables that customer may be able to use immediately. So in iterative, it is not required to it is important to deliver what is working, but sometimes we can deliver just fix. In incremental, we just for example, we deliver firstly MVP, then the steps are bigger, so we develop some other phase, another, and so on. And the agile is the combination of those two, of iterative and incremental, which is the point is to deliver frequently, so in short cycles, not to wait to finish some phase, but to deliver in short periods, and then to instantly get the feedback from the client, and then to adjust the work according to their feedback. And in agile approach, client is the most their needs are priority. So that is the focus of Agile. And Agile is mostly used on the projects which are which have changing requirements over time. Okay, we have it depends that so it depends from the project from to the project. If requirements are more dynamic, iterative is better. But for the projects where the scope is fixed, the, that is discussion among the experts, and some of them say, "Oh, predictive is way better when everything is when we know every detail." But it depends from the project to project, from industry to industry, and also the scope and size of the project. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So now the question is, what is Agile? By the definition, Agile is iterative and incremental, and also flexible approach to software development and project management that emphasizes collaboration, adaptability, and customer feedback. Agile Agile was founded pretty much in the same period when IT increased its absence to everywhere, and Agile is mostly used in software development teams and companies. Also, it is used in other industries, but its primary focus is in IT because especially in IT, client will always want something different from time to time, and teams needs to adjust to their needs. On the right side, you can see Agile Manifesto. And Agile Manifesto is the document. You can literally Google Agile Manifesto on Google, and you will be able to find this website of Agile Manifesto, where you can. This is like simple website, as you can see from the picture. So the point is to just highlight all the principles of Agile. Um, and let's go through them. Those the one which are with um, larger font. So first is individuals and interactions over processes and tools. So the point of Agile is um, to make team stronger and to collaborate more efficiently and to be more productive. But the point is not to have some policies and processes which needs to be blindly followed. The point is to encourage better communication and to make team stronger and well bonded. The second principle is working software over comprehensive documentation. In the past, a lot of softwares and software teams needs to create tons and tons of documentation, so the client can easily navigate through the software. It is really important, but if the software is intuitive by himself, then by itself, then that documentation should not be focused. So the software should be priority number one in that technical aspect. Okay, we have some question. Um, we will talk about it later when we will mention this product backlog and everything. But that question will be answered a few slides after this one. Okay, so the third principle is customer collaboration. So it's really important to have to work in good faith and to have a good relationship with the client, and to listen to their needs and to adjust and to adapt. Um, and the last principle is responding to change, which is the adaptation, and it's connected to everything. So the point of Agile is to adapt to different situations uh, and to um, and to do as best as we can to deliver value and fulfill the wishes of the customer. Um, Okay, and this is Agile Manifesto, which is also the mindset of Agile and how some person who wants to implement Agile should think. And it's really important, this last principle, which is adaptation, which is responding to change. There is one. There are a lot of real cases, but the one I will mention now, and it's really interesting. When I heard for it, I was like, "What? This is really interesting." What happened? There were a company called Ghostbusters. If you heard for them, they were um, uh, they were like giving tapes of movies and everything, and you will pay them. For example, you will rent for a day or two, and then you will pay for that service of renting you tapes. And in that time, the tapes were, I mean, they were popular. And then technology, there were a lot of advancements in technology, and then a lot of providers switched to CDs, uh, and they adapted to it. So they switched to CDs and they like increased their sale. They were like a very well known company worldwide, and they like their sales exploded. And then after some time, one little company offered them to transfer everything they have on the internet, and they like requested some like small price for that, because internet, that was first time internet started to be like an attraction, and they were thinking about it and they said no. And that small company, after some time, they asked again, And they said again no. And then after third time, they rejected 3 times. Then okay, they gave up on that idea, and time passed, and Ghostbuster doesn't exist today, as far as I know. I didn't check that, but that little company is also known today as Netflix. So that is the example how important is adaptation to the changes, and it's really really important to adapt not only on projects but in general in life. So very important ability. Okay, so that is the basics of Agile. So now let's talk about this difference in approach of traditional versus Agile. So traditionally, the delivering of the software. Let's now focus on IT, because most of you said that you want work in IT, or you're already working in IT. So traditionally, there were we had phases, as I said. So we have initiation, planning, execution, and closure. And traditionally, those phases were executed only once. So in this order, as you can see, so first all requirements will be collected, then design of the software will be created, then developers will do development, testers will do testing and confirm functionalities, and then in the end it will be delivered to the client, and that's it. No feedback from them, and that is that is like a good approach for some projects with well-defined things, when you have trust in some provider, and that is okay. But the better approach, I mean, Agile, is to do those phases again, and again. So to do in smaller iterations. So you have iteration, it's called sprint, to work in sprints, and then to deliver something new every 2 to 4 weeks, and deliver it to the client. And then every time you will get, so you will firstly define requirements, plan, then you will make some decisions, focus on the work, build a quality, and then we will deliver to them, get the feedback, and then we will do that a lot of times, and then in the end we will deliver everything as they want. So for example, if they in traditional approach, if they have some requirements in the beginning and they want to change something in the middle of the project, it's not possible. But in Agile, it's possible to adapt to adapt always to the wishes and to the wishes of the client. And also it's really important because, especially in Adacta, because we are in insurance industry, and insurance industry is very dynamic, and there are a lot of new trends, and their business needs can change over time, a lot of times through the year. And it's really important for us as a provider of the softwares for insurance companies to be flexible. And that is why Agile is used on all of our projects. Okay, so what should we do to create agile environment? So according to agile agile book which I read, so it's really important to have someone who is servant leadership. Maybe you heard for that term, but it's also known in Scrum as a Scrum Master. And servant leaders should focus on 3 things which you have here in this. So the first one is purpose. To define purpose with team so they can strive to accomplish that goal. It's really important to know what we should achieve in order to succeed. And the purpose is very important also for the motivation. Here I would just have an analogy with the SMART goals, if you heard from them, for them. So the SMART goals are a really important tool which is used, I mean, everywhere, especially in Agile. So the point is to define purpose and to define goals, and the goal should be those goals should be SMART. What is the acronym of SMART? It's specific, measurable, attainable, which means realistic, relevant, and time bound. So it's very different if you say, for example, your goal is you're writing essay for your bachelor degree, and for example, you say, I will finish writing my essay in less than 6 months. That is not specific. That it's really hard to track, and it's not well defined. And the better version, the SMART version of the goal should be, for example, I'm going to write 60,000 word novel in 6 months, finishing on June 30th. And I will do this by writing 2,500 words per week, for example. So you should define what is the deadline, how you will track the work. If you don't write, for example, today, if I don't write 2,500 words, then I need to write tomorrow 5,000 words, for example. Okay, then for the people, let me check the chat. Yeah, okay, we will come to this. It's related to people. So to people, it's really important to create environment where everyone can succeed, and how to handle. So Scrum Master should be the one who is responsible to remove every obstacle we have in the work, because project manager is busy with dealing with the business needs of the client, making decisions, planning, and so on. So the Scrum Master should there are multiple resolutions how to handle conflict, but the best one is as you know, is collaboration. Is to if two people are having conflicts, to do some analysis of their attitudes, and then to try to make it work by doing compromise. I mean, to um, to make from their two ideas one better idea, if that is possible, if that makes sense. If not, then it should be decided differently. But there are resolutions of how to handle conflicts in the team, and it's really important to know more about it for as a Scrum Master. The worst one is also to avoid any conversation on that topic, and just to do everyone as they want. Then the process is the point is to look for results, and it's not point to work to look for perfect result. It's point to work for smaller results, because we are working in smaller time periods. It's not from the start to the end. So when it's really important to, when finished with iteration, reflect and improve. And that is Kaizen philosophy. If you heard for it, this is from Japan. In lean methodology, Kaizen is very important because it's promoting continuous improvement to continue throughout the time, to improve throughout the time. And that is done also in Agile, through Agile events, and we will talk about it soon. And communication, it's really important that communication is transparent and direct, to have also internally and as well as externally with the clients. And also is important to use everything that Agile and its frameworks offer, and to use it to better bond people on the project and help them deliver value. And one of the characteristics of servant leadership is promoting self-awareness, to actively listening to people, serving those to the team, helping people grow, coaching and versus controlling. It's really important not to control, but to coach and help. Promote safety, respect, and trust, and promoting the energy and intelligence of others. Okay, let's talk now about Scrum. Scrum is a framework used in Agile project management, and this is the most famous framework of Agile, which is used. I think 80% of companies are using Scrum and 20% extreme programming, which we will mention a bit later. So Scrum provides a structure for teams to collaborate effectively on complex projects, allowing them to adapt to changing requirements and deliver valuable product incrementally. So on the right side, you can see the picture of what is really the Scrum. That is formation in rugby. So the players the point is to stick together, and that is the point of Scrum, for team to collaborate together, and they will bring great results if they do it. Okay, so now let's talk about Scrum artifacts. Those are three most important things about Scrum. The first one is product backlog. This is an order list of user requirements. For example, client requests to build some software, and we have multiple requirements for them. So they want software to do this and to do that. So we have the list of functionalities, also called functional specification document, or FSD. And every requirement is called user story. User story is a synonym for requirement. And for the product to be built successfully, it's really important to manage that list successfully. So we have product backlog and we have sprint backlog. And the sprint is nothing else than time period. It's like entity which lasts for 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the project, where you need to deliver something which was agreed and requested by client. So we have product backlog that is like a big list of all requirements from the client. And then we have sprint backlog, which is part of product backlog, but what will be done throughout the sprint. And we have increment, that is a functional test and accepted deliverable that is subset of the overall project outcome. And the increment is the final thing which is developed throughout the sprint, developed and tested throughout the sprint. So at the end of the sprint, we deliver increment to the client. And those are three most important things about Scrum. I mean, it's artifacts. Now let's talk about Scrum events. So we have multiple Scrum events. Okay, I mentioned sprint. It is event, but it's more like entity. As I said, this is time box iteration during which specific amount of work is completed. And every sprint, so for example, if sprint lasts for 2 weeks, you will have sprint 2 weeks, and then the next sprint will start after those 2 weeks, and then you will have work divided on the 2-week mark. Okay, so the first event is daily Scrum, which is a daily meeting, which is happening every day, usually in the morning before start of the work, and it lasts around 15 minutes. The point is to be familiar for project manager and Scrum Master to know on which things project team is working, and it's really important because sometimes you need to pivot that work. Someone is working on something, and you need to adapt. I mean, to change something occurred really important, and we need to make some changes in the plans, and then that is a great occasion to coordinate what needs to be changed. Also, the next event is sprint planning. Sprint planning is event where Scrum team collaborate on defining what can be delivered in the upcoming sprint and how that work will be accomplished. So on the sprint planning, the point is to define some focus of the sprint and to define what is expected to be done throughout the next sprint. So the daily Scrum, if you want to implement Scrum, daily Scrum is a must. But as one very as one very clever lecturer said about when he was talking about this topic, if I have to choose only one event of the Scrum, I will start with retrospective, and everything will come later. And daily Scrum is it can be good if it is good coordinated, but it's if not, it can just be waste of a time for team members. Okay, so we came to sprint planning, and sprint planning, for example, if sprint lasts for 2 weeks, sprint planning will be done every second week. Then we have sprint or backlog refinement. That is event that is constantly happening. So the point is to do or sprint grooming. It is the similar sprint. So the point is to refine items in the backlog and to prepare them to be ready for development, to add information we miss, and developer can start working on it. And it is prerequisite for the defining items in the sprint. So we don't work on items on some issues in the sprint if they are not well defined, because we don't want to waste the time of developers. Then we have sprint retrospective. That is the most important tool of Scrum, and it is used for team to internally align and to reflect on their work and performance. And it's really hard to implement it because, especially in IT, programmers don't like to, talk a lot about it. But once they start talking, and it's real. A lot of great things can came out of this, and this retrospective, I remember when I started working, I didn't manage to get one or two action items in few retrospectives, and then after that, when the point is to encourage transparent communication to be able everyone to be able to say what they think it's bad and how to improve. And also, there is a tool which I'm currently using. It's called Sprint Retrospective Board, and it's used so the team can, before retrospective, write something and then discuss it on the retrospective. And also they have option to do it anonymously, because some programmers are more shy than others, and they won't say something that they think should be improved. And it's a really great tool to, and then the point is to discuss every point and to define action items for the next retrospective, which needs to be implemented. Then we have a sprint review. It is the event using Scrum framework for Scrum team and stakeholders to together inspect the increment of work that was completed during the sprint. And the point of it is to present results of the sprint and highlight the plans for the next one. And in that way, we can track the results, and we are using different metrics to measure the success of the sprint, and we'll talk about it a bit later. And okay, the last one is sprint. So as I mentioned, if I have to choose only one event from here, I will always choose retrospective, because I agree with that. It's really, really important to reflect on our work and collaboration, because in Scrum, okay, the point is to satisfy customer needs, but also point is to the team to be well bonded, to collaborate better, and in that way they will deliver more. Okay, so also in Scrum teams, and Scrum projects, we have multiple roles. Okay, let's start with project manager. You already know what project manager are doing. So they are responsible for planning, organizing, and managing resources to bring the successful completion of the project. They are responsible to meet the project objectives on time, on the budget, and on the scope and on defined scope. Then Scrum Master is like, as I mentioned, he is a servant leader, and he's responsible for the environment and everything to build an environment where everyone, where the communication is transparent and everyone can collaborate better and reflect on their work and not be afraid to point out to some mistakes. Okay, and they're responsible to facilitate the Scrum and its events. Then we have developers, you know who they are. So they can, there are different types of developers, but let's say that there are the one group. So we have front-end developers, back-end, the ones which are more working on database, architects, solution architects, and so on. Then we have product owner. The product owner is a really important role in Scrum, and he is responsible to extract requirements from the client and to communicate them to the team. For this, we are using Jira in Adacta. So we are using Jira software to communicate, to create tickets and issues, which will be done by developers, but they are created by the product owner, also called business analysts. And they are responsible to manage product backlog. Then we have testers responsible for QA testing, which means assurance of the quality. And then we have client. Client can be internal or external, depending if the team is developing something for internal usage or something from for the other company or person. Okay, so those are roles in the Scrum. Just a second, something. Let's go back to the previous slide. So the Scrum, the sprint is mostly, as you can see in the top right corner, it's PDCA cycle, which is plan, do, check, act. So the point is, it's similar. This is from the Lean methodology, PDCA cycle. And the point is to have short iterations where you plan, then implement, test, and then act, which means improve, which means standardize something, depending what we reflected. And as you can see from this chart, so we have project vision, release planning, and then we have sprint planning, which is product vision is what is the point of project, what is the general goal. Then we have the plan of this release, and then we have plan of the sprint. Here you can see also these artifacts, but the point of sprint is to develop some increment which is working, something new for the client, and then we can do deployment, which means to deliver them what we developed throughout last 2 weeks or more, depending what is the duration of the sprint. And then when we deliver them, we expect to get some feedback from them for them to report some bugs and to say what is not good, what is good, and in that way to adjust and to adapt to those changes and feedback from them. Okay, now regarding estimations. In the Scrum methodology, estimations, there are different types of estimation. The most famous is relative sizing. Also, it's estimation using story points. So as you can see on the right side, one idea is to evaluate every issue according to its complexity. So either it can be 1, 3, 8, 20, 40, 100. So for example, you can look at this like in this way. So for example, we are using this estimations 1, 3, 8. So for example, S will mean that issue. So to implement and test that particular task, or ticket or issue, call it as you like, it means that it will take up to 3 days, for example, from 1 to 3. Excess will mean that it's really small thing to develop, and it will take not less than 1 day, and so on. So this T-chart sizing is used to relatively estimate the work. And for example, you have sprint which lasts for 8 days. in general, so if sprint lasts for 10 days, which means 2 weeks, 8 days are for work, and then we have 2 weeks for bug fixing, sprint review, sprint retrospective, and planning of the next sprint. So if sprint lasts for 8 days, so one person can take two S and two XS, one developer, or it can take one M issue or task, and so on. So that, and if it is, for example, Excel, that means that it needs to be divided into smaller pieces. It's not well specified, and it's really important that every task activity is well specified in Scrum. And that is the reason why it is why in Scrum we are working in smaller cycles, smaller time periods. Then important rule is the task owner has the last say, and it's really important. So the task owner, which is a product owner, aka business analysts, they know the business requirements from clients, so they're responsible for that task to be implemented like that. But also they don't have last. They not only them have last say, also tech leads. So, for example, client requests something, business analyst approves something, but tech lead didn't approve that, and then we later find out that it is not possible to implement something like that because of some restrictions. In that case, that needs to be communicated to the client, and it's really important, and that is the most important thing on the project, and the Scrum Master is responsible for that, to have frequent and transparent communication, and for business analysts, or to communicate always to the tech lead. Also, for these estimations, planning poker is used. That is, there is a website or app used for that. The point is that everyone which are participating, so every developer which is participating in the grooming and refinement of the tasks, can have right to say how much time he think that that task will require to be implemented and tested, and that is the software used for that. So, for example, if you have 10 developers, it's easier just to create issues in that software, and then everyone can vote, and the average will be accepted. And the last point is that should we estimate the bugs? There are different opinions on this. In my opinion, that sometimes it's good, sometimes it isn't. For example, if the deadline is very soon, for example, in 20 days, and we want to prevent any surprises, then we should also estimate the bugs. So we want to be sure that our short plan will be realized. But in some cases, it depends. Also it depends of the chargeability and a lot of other things, because it is additional effort which needs to be considered. And also the last thing here is that also we can do absolute estimations using Mendes, but in Scrum mostly are used relative sizing, because using relative sizing it's easier to estimate bugs, and that is the point, to decrease the risk on the project. Now, regarding the measurements in Agile, there are multiple measurements. I just mentioned the most important here. So the first one, velocity, is most famous for Scrum, and burn down chart as well. So the velocity is the measurement that is it represents the amount of work a team can complete within a single iteration, and it's the formula for it is planned work divided by finished work. And it's calculated by summing all the story points or effort estimates and dividing them by the efforts which are finished. Okay, then for the sprint burn down chart shows exactly the same. So it shows as you see, a remaining time estimate, which is this red, and then we have which is remaining value, and time spent. And we want to be sure that throughout the sprint, so we plan to work on 10 tasks. Every task require 8 hours, which means 80 hours in total. So in that case, we want to on this chart to see that we firstly implemented every task, we finished it, and our estimations are right. And this is really hard to achieve, but that is the goal of Scrum, to try to improve over time and to have more precise estimations and better planning. Then we have cycle time, and the cycle time is the total time taken to complete a task or user story from the moment it is started to the moment it is marked as done. It measures the efficiency of the team's workflow and provides insights into how long it takes to deliver values to the customer. So, for example, in Jira, you have stories, which are user stories, and one user story can be contained of multiple issues. For example, it can be contained of 10 tasks, and the cycle time is how much time we need to implement those 10 tasks. Then we have lead time. Lead time is how much time we need to implement something which is requested from the customer. So it is time from when they requested to when we delivered it, and when it is successfully tested and developed. Also, we have just a second. We have defect rate. This is the rate in software development area, for example, that is a number of bugs per user story. So how many bugs, for example, if we have user story which contains 10 tasks, and after that client reported 5 bugs, that defect rate is 50%, because we have 5 bugs on 10 tasks, and that is also important measurement. Customer satisfaction, it's hard to quantify this value. It's more like quality value, and the customer, it's hard to measure this directly, but we can conclude that from the surveys, from the discussions with them, on-site visits, and so on. And the last thing is retrospective action items, which means the higher and number we have and the more quality action items we have, which means that team is collaborating better. Eventually it will be decreased, but it's important at the beginning that team is not afraid to talk about things which are not good on the project. Okay. Now, the most important considerations for using of Agile is that there are multiple, but okay, let's start with the first one. So organizational structure. It's really in project organizations which have projectized organizational structure. Agile is more absent, but if the company is consisted of functional units, that it's harder to implement Agile. I mean, it depends, but mostly when we have where we have projects, especially in IT, Agile is mostly there. Then organizational culture. It's really important how people are looking at the Agile and the concepts of it. Then also team size, change rate. So change rate is very, very important. So if we have the projects where we have high level of change rate, then we should use Agile to adapt to those changes and to deliver to customers what they want. Also scope size. If we have smaller scope projects, sometimes they don't require Agile, but for bigger projects, Agile is better. Then also complexity of the projects. The more complex project is, the higher chance is for them to use Agile. Then type of the contracts. If we have mostly for fixed price projects, waterfall is used. Because we want, if we agree on fixed price project, it means that we know every detail of the project. Not in every case, but it should be like that. That should be the rule. And if we have time and material, which means variable, that they will pay us according to our work, it means that it's a bigger chance to stay agile. Also, we have fixed price incentive fee and fixed, which is like reward if we are working good, but it's fixed price, and then it can be subjective. And also we have fixed price economic adjustments. It's fixed price with adjustments to inflation and every other things which can affect the value of agreed amount of um, amount of money. And yeah, that's it. This is really important aspect, the type of contracts. And also the last one is stability of industry. As I mentioned, in Adacta, since we are implementing software for insurance companies, its market is not really stable because a lot of new trends are invented, and every insurance company wants to be in the trend. So and that's why insurance providers, companies which are providing softwares for insurance companies should work in agile way. Uh, it depends on a lot of factors, but Agile is better for managing larger teams. It can be also great for smaller teams, but in general, if we have two people which are working together, if we are not using Agile, maybe it won't nothing serious will happen. They will have good relationship and so on. But if we have 30 or 40 people, we want to make sure that everyone is collaborating as they should, and don't have any conflicts and so on. And because of that, Agile is better for it's a must for bigger teams. But it depends. Not only on that, but on the type of a project. So if there are construction projects where like 300 people are working, or 3,000 people, but and they are still using waterfall. It depends. What is the type of project and what should be delivered. Okay, then I will. Niels Flagging is a German agile coach, and I was listening to him on some conference, and this is really smart thing which he said is that Scrum team that doesn't require a Scrum Master is considered as perfect Scrum team, and that is the point of Scrum, is to not to make to allow people to work, to collaborate together, and everyone to feel responsible for the success of the project. And if the team is working perfectly, then they don't require a Scrum Master. That is great, and because Scrum Master is the one who should implement it, and then his job is finished there. Okay, let's talk now more about statistics. 64% of the projects which are using Agile have a success rate. And Agile in general is more productive and effective. On average, teams that use Agile are over 25% highly productive. Only 9% fail of the Agile projects. Also, it enhances the quality. And also in marketing, which is really interesting, teams which are in marketing, which are working in marketing area, are also using Agile, and they have like their own like type or version of it, how they implement it, and it is like 53%, which is a lot. Then okay, on average 60% growth in revenue. So 71% are using Agile and 29 are using Waterfall. This is like big growth since 2020, 2010. Then a lot of firms, 98% said that Agile helped them, and a lot of businesses as well, over 50%, are saying that it improved their profit and everything. And as you can see on the right side, the statistic that Agile is used in principal business functions. So you can see where the Agile is used. But as I said, in a lot of different areas, but it's most popular in IT. Okay, and regarding integration with other approaches, I already mentioned that it's really connected to Lean and the Six Sigma, and I already mentioned Kaizen principle of continuous improvement, which is implemented through sprint retrospective. Then we have Yudoka. I don't know if anyone heard for this one, but this is a principle of continuous monitoring and following uh, the work of the system, and it is focused on building quality. And one of the way we are implementing that is through integration and unit tests, which we have on the projects. So we want to continuously monitor the work. Then 5S, which is methodology used to better organize documentation and everything on the work to be easier accessible. Um, then we have Kanban, which is a pull system. It is also used, we also use the Kanban. Wherever there is a Scrum, they will also use Kanban tools like Kanban boards, so on. Okay, continuous testing is connected to Yudoka and quality standards as well. We are inductive. We have specified ISO standards, which we are following. Then stream value analysis, very important. This is a tool in Lean which is used to analyze where the value is created, and to eliminate all the activities which don't add value, to be able to work more efficiently. Then Pokayoke is the philosophy of avoiding mistakes. It's also called the zero defect philosophy. The point is to develop quality product from the first try. And that is achieved through the sprint planning and grooming. And the point is to have well-defined tasks and try not to forget every important thing. But anyway, there will always be some bugs in software development teams, but the point is to decrease its number, and the perfect state is zero. Then also the strategies from the project management, which are risk management, stakeholder engagement, and change management, very important for Scrum. And they're also all of these mentioned approaches, philosophies, and methodologies we are using in our daily work on our projects. And as Samuel Beckett said, ever tried, ever failed, no matter, try again, fail better, fail better. This is also related to the sprint retrospective. So it's not important how many time we face with some issue. It's important that we come stronger and we increase our quality of our work and relationship among the team. And for the last, so the those are two most important, most famous frameworks of Agile, which are Scrum and Extreme Programming. Scrum we already went through, and Extreme Programming, it's similar, but it's more focused on the product and the product itself to be more. It's not more about people as it is Scrum and the wishes of the customer. It's more about the product and to have better organization of work of programmers, to have focus on continuous testing, smaller releases, and the pair programming, which means that two developers are working in the pair together to decrease the chance of that mistake happen. Uh, and this one is better for small size teams, and it's more flexible. Uh, they're really similar, and they also have sprints. The difference is that in Scrum, sprint lasts from 2 to 4 weeks, and here 1 to 2 weeks. So iterations are smaller. Release is more frequent, and it is oriented on the technical side of the Scrum. Okay, so now you can scan this QR, and here I will show you. Let's wait for 20 more seconds. So the point is about this agile game is to learn more about how feedback is important. So there is a game, it's called Battleships. I will open it on a separate tab. Just a second. Battleships UK. Okay, so you have, I will show you. So what is the point of the game? So you have, there are, I think all of you already played this game. So the point is that you have multiple sizes of the boat, and the point is to strike them with the attack and to sink them. So for example, if the first iteration is called delayed feedback, so I will randomly select 30 places, and then in the end I will find out how it went through. So for example, if I click like this, I will select randomly 16 places. I mean, if I have luck, I will be good. And here, okay, confirm shots. Okay, this was great try, but I have only one ship sunk, which means this is the most important thing. So all other ships are still good. And if now I get to the phase where I have the instant feedback. And when I have instant feedback, that is the point of this of the Scrum and the sprints. So we will get immediately feedback if I hit some ship. So I already sunk one ship. I will just search for them. So I hit the another one. So this is the second one, and I have 15 more shots. Okay. So I hit the biggest one, and okay. Okay, I missed the last one, but the point is I sunk 3 ships, and in the previous example I sunk one ship, and that was like I had more luck in this first try. But the point is the instant feedback is really important, so we can so we can immediately adapt to the changes and then try to improve our work. And retrospective is exactly used for that. And this is really fun game. Also, there is a better game which is played in live with the paper airplanes, but maybe you heard for that. But that game is brilliant. But since we are in the online space, it's not possible to to play something like that. But yeah, okay. So that is regarding this battleship game, which should demonstrate the power of instant feedback. Okay, sometimes you will have luck and you will do a good game, but in most of the cases you will be better with the instant feedback. I don't know what happened, but if you go back to Mentimeter, here you have the option to ask the questions. So if you have any question, you can ask them now. And I will also put this if you want to scan while you're writing the question or you don't want. So this is the QR which leads to my LinkedIn profile. You can connect with me. You can message me after this if you have any questions, if you would like to know more about Agile and Adacta. And yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, you can write them on Mentimeter. And just a second to see. Yeah. We have one question. Um, um, just a second. I mean, you can message me on LinkedIn, or you can. I'm not sure if Sarah is here. You can say what should be the best way um, to talk about to agree how to send this package. But I mean, you can message me on LinkedIn, or or you can send email to Sarah, and she will manage sending of this package. Okay, I think uh, as I see you don't have any questions. If you have, you can ask them here, or you can write me on LinkedIn. And that's all. Do you have anything else? Any comment? Do you like the? You can also write here the comments of the workshop. Did you learn something new? Or if you have any question? Okay, then that's all. Thank you all for your attention and enjoy the rest of the day.